Hey everyone, back again with more fun machines I've found at the local recycling centre. I saw this little guy sitting on a pile of laptops ready to be recycled, and yeah, I just couldn't resist just grabbing it. It's mostly complete. You can see it's missing one of the keys here, but it's a MacBook Pro from 2006. And I didn't think much of it, but I picked it up, and it turns out it's actually one of the original Intel Core Duo, not the Core 2 Duo, but the Core Duo, very early dual-core CPUs from Intel that Apple fitted to these MacBook Pros. It kind of bridges the gap between the G5 and G4 models, and this was the next model. So yeah, overall the machine itself is actually in pretty decent shape. We have a USB 2 port there, headphone jack, express card slot. Around the front is the IR receiver for the remote, which I didn't find. The super drive, which these things tend to overheat and stop reading CDs, so very convenient. Another USB 2 port, Firewire, Ethernet and DVI out. So overall, a pretty nicely stocked machine, and yeah, appears to be actually in pretty decent condition. My model here is the A1150, released around February the 14th of 2006, then promptly discontinued on October 24th of 2006, just as the model refreshes there. But yeah, mine's the 32-bit architecture Core Duo T2500. It came in a few different variants. Also rocking the Radeon X6100 GPU as well. It had two variants of 128 megabytes or 256. Mine came with the latter. Standard memory fitted with the machines was available in 512 meg to 1 gig. I suspect mine came with the 1 gig, but given it's the middle of the range spec, maximum of 2 gigabytes of VRAM. Shipped with OS X Tiger. Reviews are pretty favourable. Did notice that the machine gets quite hot, and I definitely found that as well. But yeah, overall, actually a pretty nice machine. Would have been great to have back in the day, and the fact it came in a 17-inch model is pretty awesome as well. I had to pack a few things up because I didn't get any of the power adapters or batteries or anything for this unit. So in order to test it, I needed these few items. It's kind of interesting with a machine like this migrating from a PowerPC platform to Intel. Of course, it feels very modern day-esque with the old M1, M2 silicon, but yeah. Just want to do a quick power on test just to make sure it works, and of course it does. So you know what that means. You have to tear this thing down, dust it out, swap out the spinning rust with an SSD, and yeah, do a few bits and pieces that it really needs, like the thermal paste especially. So we'll crack in and get started on the teardown. With the fresh installation of a new SSD, it's time to put a operating system on the sucker, so I went with the venerable OS X Leopard, right down the middle between Tiger with what this machine shipped with, and Snow Leopard, which is the maximum that the machine supports. I've got a couple of USB sticks, but the problem with these super drives I've noticed is they work for a while and then they just suddenly stop reading the disk as the machine or the drive heats up, so I went with the USB option. But yeah, worked a treat, and yeah, the machine installed without a problem. I did notice, however, that the machine did shut off and got rather warm. There's some sort of thermal control system on these units that runs quite hot or to the edge, and I don't think this one's working too well. Even one of the sensors is probably burned out. I noticed it actually before I disassembled the machine, it would shut off. So there's a utility which you can install called SMC fan control, which I just set the fan on maximum speed and just kind of left it at that. But other than that, the machine actually still gets updates, and yeah, seems to be working pretty good. As for the missing key, I did order a key off eBay, but it took a long time to arrive, and by the time it got here I realized that the rubber dome underneath the keyboard is missing, so I couldn't actually fit the replacement keycap. But yeah, we'll crack into some games and things like that and do some testing on the machine, see what the performance is like on such a high-end spec machine from back in the day. But you can see I've got my fan control running in the top right hand corner near the Wi-Fi. The machine gets up to like 80 degrees playing games, and that's with the fans at absolute maximum speed. I managed to get the system updated to 10.5.8. You can see my 2GB of maximum RAM that this machine supports, and that's due to the 32-bit architecture of this machine. If I had the Core 2 Duo, I believe it can support up to 3 gigs because it's more of a 64-bit platform. But yeah, anyway, all the bits are in there, it all checks out. Not being able to join Wi-Fi networks is a little bit annoying, so there might be a third-party utility that someone might know about. Once again, using my retro SMB NAS that I did on the channel a while ago, just to copy the games. Getting the games actually turned out to be pretty hard. The sources are very few and far between, and this machine sits awkwardly between PowerPC stuff and Intel, so everything is either too new or is too old. So yeah, bit awkward. I'll start off with something easy. I tried running Doom, which worked out well for a short while until I realized that using the chainsaw clicking disabled my mouse input here, so I can't actually move my Doom character. Doom guy won't move, so bit of a strange bug, so I had a wee bit of a play around with it, which you'll see here. Yeah, it's a very strange bug, that one. As soon as you equip the chainsaw and try and use it, your character just spins around and then you lose all mouse control. So I gave up on Doom pretty quick there, but I'm sure it's just a bug. But yeah, Quake 3 of course runs a treat, and this was a sort of a showcase game for these machines back in the day. I believe more of the PowerPC stuff, but yeah, runs great on this. The only thing I've noticed with Macs, and I'm not sure if it's common across all of them, is external mice. There's some sort of mouse smoothing that's done around the operating system, and that translates into the game. So as you're moving the mouse, it's not actually extremely accurate, and I think it's due to either some sort of acceleration or something. So I actually really struggled with FPS shooters, and ended up just resorting to using the rocket launcher and just using that to blow the other character up, just because it just splash damage and it was easier that way. But yeah, not sure if anyone's got any tips around mouse acceleration for external mice, but yeah, seemed to be quite an issue with FPS games. Just really strange mouse inputs, and I tried changing my mouse that I was using as well, but yeah, really weird. After scraping my way through Quake 3, I thought I'd try out a port of Half-Life 2. This is from like the original retail release that's kind of been ported over to the platform. Works pretty good actually. I was surprised. This is actually quite a demanding game from back in the day, and this is kind of in that 2004 to 06 sweet spot. So yeah, seems to run a little bit of lag, a little bit of horrible mouse input, but does seem to work pretty good. Once again, I'm not sure what's happening with that mouse, but it's pretty annoying if I'm honest, not having that direct input.
Forget about that thing.
It's coming through, Dad.
What's going on, Judith?
I'm not sure. It seems to be some kind of interference.
Gordon, stay put. You'll get you out of there.
Something is drawing him away.
What's the meaning of this? Who are you? How did you get in here?
Hey, he's back. I'm getting him out of there. Can't just wade into the field. It will peel you apart.
Just lost Gordon. What's going on?
I wish I knew. I'm encountering unexpected interference. Don't worry, Gordon.
There he is. Oh, we're losing him again.
The man I saw. I'm all but certain it was Gordon Freeman. He didn't come through.
Then where is he?
Behind you.
Ah!
Shut it down. Shut it down.
Gordon, you must get out of here. Run! Get down out of sight. I'll come find you.
You dropped this back in Black Mesa. Good luck out there, buddy. You're gonna need it.
As coming from the PC gaming world, it's a bit mixed in terms of gaming on Mac, I feel, just in this period of time. I mean, certain titles that work natively, I bet, work pretty good, but yeah, I just had some really strange issues with the mouse, and yeah, getting some titles to work. It's yeah, kind of a bit few and far between. I think stuff for PowerPC is probably where I'd sit more in terms of the sort of era of gaming, but we'll give the machine a quick sort of clean up here. Just needed a general wipe down. It was overall pretty good. I mean, there's, you know, a few scratches and things like that around the case, but nothing too major. I had to give the power connector a clean out as well. Some deoxit, had a bunch of goo stuck in there, and it wasn't making a good contact. I just think that's where most of the people fingers were going into to connect the power cord and stuff up. You know, all the grease over time gets stuck in there, pretty nasty. But yeah, a bit gutted about the keyboard situation. I can replace the whole top cover, but that's a bit annoying. No one wants to spend about 50 New Zealand dollars on a replacement keyboard top, and doing a keyboard swap on these things is actually pretty hard. They're kind of like almost riveted in with metal, and you have to bend the keyboard to get it in and out, and it can warp it. So it's not a very nice procedure from what I've looked at on iFixit or the repair guides for the machine, so I might come back to that one and just do a whole top cover replacement, because as you had seen, it's actually pretty easy to remove the whole top cover. But yeah, I really enjoy finding these machines that have left out and abandoned and fixing them up and giving them a new lease of life. Really, it's always a good challenge and a bit of fun. But yeah, once again, special thanks to Thomas from Traxx/Voyager 12 for letting me use his music. I've put a link in the description, so if you guys like that soundtrack on the disassembly there, please go and check that out. He's on Bandcamp. Yeah, he makes some pretty nice synth music and stuff like that, so yeah, go and check that out. But yeah, wraps this one up. Had a lot of fun putting it back together and getting it refreshed, and yeah, always enjoy a good hardware repair. Alrighty guys, catch you in the next one, and stay safe, stay sane, and catch you soon. Bye for now.